What's happening, everybody? Happy Sunday. See lots of excitement in the chat already. Welcome, welcome. We're about 30 seconds in. We'll give it another half a minute for people to jump on. It's a bit of a last-minute live stream here, but we're going to get started here momentarily. Give it another 20 seconds or so. But how's everybody doing? It was a busy week. It was an exciting week. Doing the rapid-fire news update this week was pretty awesome. And just getting started, folks. We're still in the pre-game warm-ups. Also, let's have a little fun today. Where's everybody tuning in from? I bet you we've got most of the U.S. covered, most of Canada. I see we have a lot of viewers coming in as well lately from the U.K. And Germany, obviously a big one lately, so let me know. But we'll get things kicked off here. Just going to have a smash of water here. Yeah, no doubt. Tomorrow's going to be fun. All right, let's get right into it. So, it's Rod with Pal Group, everybody. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Also home to the best MJ community. It's Sunday, December 14th. Month's just flying along. Hope you're having a great weekend. We're going to be doing a prep for tomorrow, so we'll just kind of get a feel of how high we can see prices go into tomorrow. There were so many developments out over the weekend and after the market closed that it's really probably anybody's guess at this point. And I don't think anybody is too disappointed or too angry at that, right? How high will the price go? And it's, if this is a problem that we're trying to figure out, it's probably a good problem to have, especially after being just absolutely decimated for the last 4 or 5 years. We definitely deserve it at this point. And those who stayed patient, those that continued to say, oh, there's never going to be any reform, like the ultra pessimists. Well, the writing's been on the wall, folks. One presidential ticket wanted to legalize it at the federal level for recreational use. The other one said safer banking, rescheduling, Florida, Amendment 3, medical use, all that, states' rights. So the writing's been on the wall for a while, folks, and those who chose to ignore it, that's on you, right? Anybody who's been following this space for any longer than 5 minutes and not living under a rock, we all knew that this was the path that it was going to take. It's just happening a lot longer it's taken a lot longer than we would have expected. So we'll discuss all of that and more, and we'll just kind of chat with the community as well. If anybody has any questions, just let me know. Make sure to smash the like, though, before we get rolling here, and subscribe. Tick the bell, you'll be notified on any future videos. And there's been a lot of censorship lately, and I've been hearing a lot of people getting their accounts flagged and warnings and everything like that. I got a warning as well, but I've been hearing a lot of people that are getting warnings on their account and like YouTube strikes and their videos getting removed. So you always want to have multiple forms of communication. So I should see 10,000 subscribers, followers on here, because I have 10,000 on YouTube, almost 11,000. There should be 10 or 11,000 here. You want to be on both, just in case they pull a fast one and try to silence me here on YouTube. As I've seen people promoting like stuff about crypto, which is way less to worry about than I would think anyway, than what I'm doing, and they're getting banned and stuff. So you never know. Just something to keep in mind. So obviously we had a crazy close to the week last week. We had MSOX over 100%. How high can prices go tomorrow? That is going to be the question. We'll see what pre-market brings. We'll see what we have in the S&P 500 as well. If the S&P 500 if SPY is strong into tomorrow, then it's going to be interesting to see if we can get some tailwinds there. And just having a coffee here as well. So yeah, for SPY on Friday, we had a little bit of weakness. So let's see if we can get some tailwinds into tomorrow, because we did have daily consolidation on SPY last week, but as long as we hold 670, I think we're just fine, and we maintain that daily bull flag. We could see as high as 704, and there's actually a weekly bull flag on SPY saying as high as 818. So that'd be, from the daily bull flag target, you're looking at about 2.3% away, and then about 18% away from the 818 target on the weekly bull flag. So if that's the case, there's still a lot of room to go in the broader market, which is only going to help MJ's case. So I think, it's anybody's guess, like I said, into tomorrow, but we'll just get some feels for the price here after hours. We'll start with MSOS, because that's the only one in the U.S. that's listed on a U.S. major exchange. So MSOS closed at 604. In after hours trading, it hit a high though of 624. So technically it's confirming the monthly uptrend after hours, which is a great sign. I think we could easily see MSOS. We might even see MSOS at $9 or $10 tomorrow. It could even go up another 100%, to be honest. Like, there's no telling. If we actually get the executive order signed too, because I should just kind of step back here a little bit. I'm sure everybody's already seen it. It's already got like over 3,000 views. But if you go over here to my channel, click on videos, you can see, actually we'll start with the live one. So this is the report from the Wall Street Journal, Trump rescheduling via executive order. I published that a few days ago. It's got 2.1 thousand views. And then I posted this one, which was just shortly after, and that was when CNBC said as soon as Monday. And then he was also signing legislation at 3 p.m. I said it's probably not MJ related because an executive order is not legislation. Keyword was legislation, and that's exactly what it was. It was pertaining to AI. It was not related to MJ, and the key word there was legislation. An executive order is not legislation. So, but yeah, it could come as early as Monday. MJ Biz Daily was reporting on it as well. And then the MJ Herald, as if that wasn't enough to get us all excited and on the edge of our seat, the MJ Herald posted an article yesterday saying that the same Trump advisor that said during the summertime that they were going to reschedule and get a descheduling commission said that's still the plan, and descheduling commission expected by summer, says the Trump advisor. So everything's heating up in a big way. So that, in conjunction with rescheduling, there's talks about CBD and Medicare coverage. So if we get that as well in the executive order, oh frig, it's going to be interesting. And on Friday, we were right on the main page of CNBC. We started off as a little corner. It was just like right down here. Oh, look, Coca-Cola. That's exactly where we were. We were right in the Coca-Cola spot. And it even had TLRY there. It said MJ rescheduling essentially on the horizon, and TLRY's up big. It was like 40%. And then later on in the day, it switched to the main one right here. So you're probably going to see more of that this week. But yeah, I mean, we could see another 50 to 100% gain on some of these names tomorrow. If we get the executive order actually signed, we might be tripping some circuit breakers. Like, we could maybe even go up like a couple 100% if they actually put pen to paper. So it's going to be an interesting day. If we take a look at MSOS, though, like I said, on the monthly time frame, it is breaking key resistance there at 602 after hours. So we're confirming the monthly uptrend. And then after that, we don't really have any resistance until 792, and then after that, 1137. So, yeah, I could see us easily back at that high of April of 2024. Because this time is definitely different, and we're confirming a monthly uptrend. We did confirm a monthly uptrend back here, but we didn't have all the stuff that we have going on now, right? We actually have a pathway to legalization, potentially with the descheduling commission. We actually have a pathway to incremental reform and 280E removal with Schedule 3, CBD coverage. Yeah, this time is definitely different. And just overall, the fundamentals of these companies, right? Especially some of these Canadian names are really starting to turn into the black and profitable. But yeah, Cron has been super strong as well. That one confirmed a monthly uptrend. So we had our low, high, higher low, and higher high. And we had the second ever EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. This one's got a pretty big level of resistance at 362. After that, we're looking at 431, and then really nothing until 679. So this could easily double, in my opinion. And if you're wondering, like, tomorrow, why this name is up and this name's down, well, actually, everything will probably be up, but why is this one up and this one isn't up as much is probably a better way to put it. Just remember that when in doubt, zoom out. It's not everything's going to go the same in one day or 1 week or 1 month. Everybody has this tendency of falling into the moment, into the present moment, or, looking at it on the micro scale, right? You want to think in the macro scale. The sector moves together, not down to the day, the second, the minute. But when in doubt, zoom out. Look at the weekly, look at the monthly, maybe even look at the multi-month chart. And everything is going to trend together. And I heard a lot of people ask me, why isn't Oxley moving? Well, that's a simple answer. It's not listed on a U.S. major exchange. And how many people do you know talking about Oxley? Not very many. They're only in Canada. So this news about the U.S. doesn't really impact Oxley at all, other than the fact it's in the sector and it's going to benefit from the tailwinds from the sector. But it did just go from a penny to 18 cents, almost 19 cents. So, yeah, I mean, what do you mean? I don't get when people say that. Like, when in doubt, zoom out. We were just at a penny. And then we hit almost 19 cents. So, and already had the EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. Like I said, when in doubt, zoom out. Cron, now it's seeing the monthly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross months after Oxley, right? And it's not even up nearly as much as Oxley. It's only up 100% off the local low. Look at Oxley. It's up off its lows, all-time lows. It's up 1,700%, right? So 17x, $1,000 investment into $17,000. I bought a lot at a penny and a lot at 2 pennies, and I'm not selling anytime soon. But again, it's not listed on a U.S. major exchange. I mean, case in point, just look at TLRY. Look at the volume on this thing. And it wasn't the most volume ever. We actually had in one day, it was, I don't know why it's not showing here, but we did have a day where there was like $2.2 billion traded. But yeah, on Friday, there was 84.2 million shares traded. Okay. And now let's go to TLRY on the TSX. 82 million, and on the TSX we only had 3 million. Okay, so like not even close. And then same thing with, I don't know, what else do we want to look at? Which other ones are big that are listed on dual exchanges? So OGI, Organogram on the NASDAQ, 3.17 million. And 1.42 million on the TSX. Oxley on the TSX had 4 million. So it's not bad, but it's, you know, it's not a very well-known company, and they're just starting to make a name for themselves again. But like Oxley said, they will participate. Cron just announced a acquisition to get into the Netherlands and Europe, and you know, Oxley said they will participate, but when it's right for them. So yeah, no one really knows. Like, there's so much up in the air, right? Not only do we have this amazing news with rescheduling and CBD coverage and Medicare and Medicaid, Medicare, whatever you call it, and then we have the descheduling commission. So that's adding more fuel to the fire. And then what else remains to be seen is, okay, though, like the fact that this descheduling news came out on top of everything is ultra bullish. But if we actually get the executive order tomorrow, then all bets are off, right? It's who knows how high we could go. It's anybody's guess. I would expect well over 100% on most of these names if that's the case. And this is why I never want to, like, this is why when people were telling me a week ago, 2 weeks ago, that they're, you know, nothing's ever going to happen and I'm going to sell my shares and rebuy later. And it's like, why though? Why? You put yourself through hell the last 4 or 5 years if you're like most people, sitting through this brutal bear market, and now we're finally coming. Like, the time to capitulate is not at all-time lows, right? It's I mean, everybody's got to do whatever's right for them, but I just couldn't imagine selling, especially when we had one side of the aisle saying they wanted to legalize it recreationally at the federal level, and the other one running for office saying they wanted, you know, rescheduling, safer banking, they wanted states' rights, we're pro medical, we're pro legalization at the recreational level in Florida. Like, what else do you need? That alone. And then multiple CEOs, right? Scott's Miracle-Gro saying that they're going to legalize it, and you know, Sam coming out and saying, "Oh, damn, it looks like they're going to legalize." Right? Even an opposition group saying they're going to reschedule. Sorry, not legalize, but you know, legalizing that's not the end goal. Legalization will be the end goal, and this is proof of it. When you go down and you look at this video, and it says descheduling commission right after rescheduling news. Again, it's going to be easier to get it descheduled. It's going to be easier to get safer banking. It's going to get easier to do more and more reforms. Right? But take that incremental approach and get rescheduling done. That's just what needs to happen. And let me read this to you. So go over here to the Pal Group private community and scroll up here. So yeah, we're pretty busy in the group the last little bit. Where was it? Yeah, here. So this is when Jam posted, Trump advisor says MJ descheduling commission still planned, announcement expected by summer. So as you can see, there's a lot of hype right now, but I posted an excerpt from that. Recent report has indicated that the White House plans to direct the Justice Department and the Drug Enforcement Administration to finalize a rule reclassifying MJ as soon as next week, bypassing the lengthy administrative hearing process that stalled similar efforts under the former Biden administration. Things that make you go, It's like, why wouldn't you just do that in the first place, you dunsts? It's just called political theater, folks. It's how do we make the most money? right? How do we create these peaks and troughs? How do we create these bull and bear cycles? But when stocks go up 400 or 500%, they sell it off. Oh, yeah, just kidding. And then they create a new catalyst, and they wouldn't just do it all in one foul swoop, because then it would just be one up and one down, right? Market makers get in, make money, sell. Oh, well, now what, right? We just legalized it in one foul swoop. Why not make it 4 or 5 years of ambiguity and confusion? And why not do like HHS recommends, and then the DA squashes it, right? And then we sell that and then pawn it off on idiot retails. And then, it's looking like the DEA, they got a new administrator. Oh, things are looking up again. Things start to, you know what? We'll get posts on social media, and we'll say within a few weeks, and things go up, and then they sell it off again. Oh, you know what? We'll start with rescheduling. Then we'll sell it off after that. We'll make a ton of money. We'll sell it off to retail. Then we'll do banking. Then we'll do the same thing, rinse and repeat. And then we'll do full-blown legalization. And then, yeah, it's just a complete gong show. That's always how they do it. It's in every industry, right? It's never just and we're done, right? There's got to be 18 million phases and fake outs and shakeouts and bull traps, bear traps. According to the report by the MJ Herald, Trump also plans to establish a federal descheduling commission that would examine whether MJ should be removed completely from the nationwide list of controlled substances similar to alcohol. Well, isn't that just a breath of fresh air and common sense? One's poison and one's medicine. Do you know which one is medicine? Yeah. Too funny. Too funny. All right, but yeah, at this point, hard to say how high we're going to go. We'll jump into the chat here in a minute, but yeah, Aurora at a after hours high. Well, it doesn't factor in the split here, so what frig. It closed at 546 after hours. For whatever reason, Moo doesn't factor in on the price chart the reverse splits, because Aurora's done 2. Canopy already did one, working on a second one, but it still says Canopy's 19.5 cents. So that one's easy because it's just a 10x. So it'd be that one would be $1.95 would be the high, but Aurora did a 1 for 12, then a 1 for 10. So that technically Aurora stock's only 4 cents. But people are like, no, it's 5.46, and you're like, but they did a 1 for 12, then a 1 for 10 reverse split, 2 reverse splits. So their stock price is actually 4 pennies, and everybody's like, Aurora's the best earnings report, and now the leader. It's like, okay, it's a 4 cent stock. What else? You had Cron up to 340 after hours. High Tide did a 1 for 15 reverse split. Not many people know that. See, that one's not factoring in the price either. It's technically a 20 cent stock, masquerading as 294. So yeah, it's just so funny to hear all these people like, see, I told you Tilray was garbage. It's High Tide all the way. And you're like, High Tide's not a producer. They don't pay excise tax. And they did a 1 for 15 reverse split. And they're like, oh, really? That's worse than Tilray. Yeah. You just didn't look back past yesterday on the chart. Oh, people are hilarious. Just good for a laugh, I guess. You gotta have fun. OGI closed at 198. So yeah, don't go sleeping on OGI and SNDL. I think those are going to be big catch-ups. They're going to be big laggards. Speaking of SNDL, that one closed at 223. Barely even moved. Tilray, everybody's favorite. That one's up 11.36% after hours, so 13.53. But again, you have to factor in the split. It's 1 for 10, so it's actually a high of 138 after hours. We were just at 232, right? So that'd be $23. So we should easily be at $23 here, I would say, this week, maybe even tomorrow, if we get pen to paper on the executive order. Village Farms, VFF, 412. So again, Cron and VFF ran like crazy, right? VFF was just at 45 cents, and now it's at $4.08, 412 after hours. So again, leaders and laggards. Everybody's like, why isn't VFF running? I'm like, again, look past yesterday on the chart. It's up from 45 cents to $4, right? And I actually sold some of my VFF. I bought quite a bit at around 40 cents, 50 cents area. So, and I sold at $4, so I was up 10x on some of those buys. I still have my core position on VFF, but some of the ones that I bought at 40 and 50 cents, I took my 10x profit, and I actually rotated that into Tilray, so that's looking pretty good now. Because I sold Village Farms at like $4, bought Tilray at like $7, and now Tilray's almost 100% higher. So that ended up being sweet. And yeah, that's all the major ones. All right. Jump into the chat here because everything's going nuts. And yeah, I gotta get in the habit of doing live chat now because it defaults to that. I wish I'm going to see if I can... My streaming software has two options, live chat and then top chat. So top chat says some messages such as potential spam might not be visible. And then if I select all chat, live chat, which is all message visible, yeah, I'll have to see if I can make that to default. I'm going to set myself a reminder here. Give me 1 sec. Default live chat. I'm going to set myself a reminder. Cool. All right. Now we got live chat, so we can see everybody's comments here. 126 viewers. Wow. Copperman says, so fun. We got Maggie saying, let's go get into the members here. So hype time. Yeah, it's going to be a fun day tomorrow. Coffee time, you bet. Yeah, I'm sipping on one right now. Tim's Dark Roast. Oh, we got Mankey in the house with some TLRY and POW group emojis. Love it. Where are all the POW members at? Just Mankey at the moment. And Mankey, yeah, I tried Wendy's breakfast today for the first time. It was pretty decent. Not really a big fan of the breakfast Baconator. I mean, it's a little... I don't even eat breakfast. Like, usually I eat around like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. I usually just fast and then eat like a big meal in the evening. And usually just like a small something to hold me over until dinner. But yeah, it's right up there with McDonald's breakfast for sure. And I actually just posted a video on that the other day. If anybody's looking for a great stock right now, I talk about how I just bought this stock. It's actually Wendy stock, so WEN. It's at like pretty much all-time lows, and they have a good dividend as well. And I think it's a good bounce-back target and candidate. But yeah, just a small position so far. I'm looking to add more to that. But yeah, it was pretty decent. I probably wouldn't get the Baconator one again, but the like the breakfast BLT or the croissant one, that's what I got. The sausage one, that was pretty good. The potato wedges are really good. Oh, I got a phone call here. 1 second. Just make sure it's not Amazon. Got a couple Christmas gifts arriving here today. Potential spam. Okay, moving on. Let's go. Tomorrow will be interesting. I wish I wasn't at work though. Yeah. Well, who knows? Maybe you might not have to work for too long after in a year or a couple years. Lots of excitement in the chat. SC accepting the case. SC accepting the case plus Supreme Court. Yeah, so that's tomorrow as well. Plus Trump EO would be massive. Yeah, exactly. So just as a reminder, the Supreme Court is going to decide on Canada Provisions versus Bondi tomorrow. Well, supposed to anyway. It said on or around the 15th, so we'll see if it's tomorrow. And then I think the hearing's in January. I think they said late January. So yeah, lots heating up pertaining to the space. Pumped for this Monday. Absolutely can't wait for tomorrow. I'll be up bright and early around 5:30 a.m. Mountain Time, which is like 2 hours before it opens, stock market. Happy Sunday, you bet. Martha's Vineyard, nice. Welcome from South UK. There you go. I was just talking about y'all. Yeah, it's pretty cool, the community we built. You got Michigan in the house, Croatia, okay, cool. Long Island, New York. From Georgia. You got Fort Lauderdale. Oh, nice. That's where my parents are right now. They escape every year. Iowa. You got Southern Mississippi. Let's go Team TLRY. Philadelphia. Let's go Team TLRY and VFF. Will this breathe new life in companies that have been beyond decimated? Absolutely. And well, the companies that can survive anyways, because you got to keep in mind, if we get the executive order, it's probably going to take like maybe a couple of weeks to a month, and then you're going to have to go through some other red tape with the agencies. You might even see some lawsuits come as well, right? Yeah, there was some, I can't remember where I saw it, but there was some stuff we were talking about in the POW Group private community. I think it was Jam that said, yeah, the executive order could get signed and then it'll go to Bondi to be processed. So it's about like a month or so to get implemented. And then there could be lawsuits, obviously. So it might get drug out. And then you have to think too, right? Like it's going to take, once 280E goes away, rescheduling removes 280E, punitive tax code in the IRS. So once that goes away, it's going to take a couple of quarters for, right? Because they're trailing, right? Every time they report, it's based on like a couple months ago's month end and that quarter end. So it's going to take at least like 3 or 4 months before we start to see it in their bottom lines. But yeah, it's going to be huge. And then we'll see if they get tax rebate as well, similar to like Trulieve and a couple other companies. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. But it's not going to happen overnight, right? And there's still so much, like, this isn't even it, right? This isn't even the big kahuna. Like, rescheduling is great, but then we need safer banking, uplisting to the NYSE and the NASDAQ, interstate commerce language. Then we need full-blown descheduling, right, and legalization. So there's a lot of work to do. And then you're going to see big corporations enter the space. Once it's no longer on Schedule 1 like heroin, you're going to see Fortune 500, Fortune 50 companies enter the space. You're going to see names like Kevin O'Leary, who wanted to invest but couldn't because his lawyer told him he was an effing idiot because he was on Schedule 1 with heroin. So he's like, oh, okay, that's the end of that. So then he moved on from looking at MJ companies, right? So once that happens, you're going to get big capital coming in the world, venture capitalists, etc. So it's just the tip of the iceberg, and it's not. I know everybody wants to be a get-rich-quick scheme. Everybody wants to be instant gratification rich yesterday, but that's just not the case, right? Look at XRP. I've been holding that thing for 7 years, and even Bitcoin. You know, I bought it in 2017 for $3,000, and I didn't sell it until 2021 for $50,000, right? So, you know, it took a long time, but I mean, that's ridiculous to have that amount of gains in investing. Like, most people are accustomed to 12% a year with the S&P 500, right? Or like, you know, some of these other stocks, but some of these stocks now are moving like a crypto. But just try to remain even keel, right? Try not to get too high, too low. Just understand it's a process. It's still a long road ahead, and we're on the right trajectory. That's the main thing at this point, sorry. But yeah, the companies that can survive, especially in like a lot of companies have debt coming due soon. Rod the Man, thank you, J-Man. Hope you're doing well as well. I hold a lot of TLRY too, and not to be a party pooper, but the White House has mixed reports. No? No, not really. They just said that a final decision hasn't been made yet, which, again, until they put pen to paper, nothing has been made official, right? So at this point, the writing's on the wall. But yeah, again, talk is cheap. We just need pen to paper. So sorry to hear about your goalie. Like, man, I have no idea what Edmund is doing. Huge McDavid fan. Actually, I think it was a good move. Stuart Skinner, he was getting death threats and everything. He even said his family was like getting death threats. It was just time for a change. Tristan Jarry, probably due for a change. He actually won the Memorial Cup here in Edmonton, and he owns a house just outside of Edmonton, and yeah, it seems like he's a good fit. He's $5 million a year versus $3 million a year for Skinner, and I think it's just we needed a good turnaround. And to be honest, if I don't know, we won last night 6-3 with Jarry in net, and he made it look pretty easy, even though there was. And then that last goal he had no chance on. That rebound, he gave a big juicy rebound, but defender should have had it. So really only let in like one goal, but I think he did a fantastic job overall, and I think we just needed a change of scenery. And there's not a whole lot of goalies out there, so. But overall, going from $3 million to $5 million, I think it's all right. Plus, we got Spencer Stastny to fill the void for Kulak. Big money incoming for Oxley MJ Group. Yeah, I doubt that. They're gonna have to uplist to the U.S. major exchange before that happens. But yeah, I wish it would. I wish Oxley would see some of the most volume coming in. It's just got to call a spade, right? It's on the TSX. So again, just like I showed you earlier, look at TLRY. This is all you need to see. Look at TLRY on the NASDAQ alone had 84.2 million shares traded. On the TSX, it only had 3.14, right? Like, that's quite the difference. And then, like I said, same thing with OGI. Look at that on the NASDAQ. It had 3.17 and only 1 million on the TSX. So, like Oxley on the TSX had 4 million. That could easily be, if this was on a U.S. major exchange and there was a little bit more PR done on it, and you know, they had some other kind of areas of the world. Like they only operate in Canada right now, right? So they're not very well known, and once they start expanding internationally into the US and internationally as well into Europe, I think they're going to really turn some heads. But yeah, they're going to want to get listed on a US major exchange. They said they have no immediate plans, though, when I interviewed Hugo a couple of times. So, but I would say maybe 2026, 2027, we see them uplist. And keep in mind, you have to hit certain criteria to uplist as well. So they're not even anywhere near being able to uplist at this point, just from a price standpoint, unless they did a reverse split similar to, was it OGI that did a reverse split so that they could uplist? Or it might have been High Tide, I can't remember. Either way, that's, I don't think you're going to see big money come into Oxy Group until they're on the NASDAQ. Tilray new exit video with a new... Yeah, I don't know what you're saying, J-Man. You just times everything by 10. It's really, really easy, right? So price went down by 10, shares down by 10, price up by 10. So just go Tilray exit. There's not even any point on making a video. It'd literally be a 2-minute video. It'd be, or a 2-second video. It'd be times everything by 10. So first profit, instead of being $10, it'd be $100. Instead of $15, it would be $150, right? So you just times everything by 10 because the share price was multiplied by 10. All right. Any bull flags on Tilray? So we did have the weekly bull flag, but so a lot of names started monthly consolidation. And this is why you need to know how to read a chart, right? When we bounced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months in a row, and in that bounce, we had a 565% gain. We were still in a monthly downtrend, and we had no support all the way down to 35 cents, right? Or $3.50 now after post-split. So when we started consolidation losing 1280, that tells us we could drop 73% and still be just looking for a monthly high or low. So that's why you need to learn how to read charts, because you would anticipate a pretty sizable pullback and understand that this is just a monthly high or low forming. And we're very well on our way now, right? We're already starting the monthly bounce here after hours, pretty much. It's all about resistance there at 2320. Break that, we're in a monthly uptrend. But again, look at other names in the space. Who else is confirming a monthly uptrend? Cron already did it. MSOS is doing it after hours. VFF confirmed a monthly uptrend. Actually, it did here, and then we went to a lower low, but ended up being a scam wick and bear trap and type of a Wyckoff accumulation. But yeah, we had a nice higher low here, and then a higher high. It's actually a monthly bull flag, but Tilray, no bull flag on the monthly there, but set up for a nice reversal there and monthly uptrend. But yeah, no bull flags here at the moment. Not even on the daily time frame. I think we might have one on the hourly though. No, there was one here, but that's long gone. 15-minute maybe. That's pretty choppy. Yeah, you could. I would just go from there to here. So as long as we hold 150. Sorry, 1150, not 150. So used to it being post split. So just a little micro level bull flag, but yeah, that's saying around 1376. So if we can get over 1235, which we are, right? What are we at? After hours, 1353. So yeah, we had a 15-minute bull flag into the end of the day, and it was saying 1376. We're at 1353, so we're almost at that target here after hours. But yeah, expect a lot of upside. That's all I gotta say. Is it Santa rally time? Absolutely, I think so. Well, a lot of people probably sold too, right? Because of tax loss harvesting, and then you have to wait 30 days. And yeah, I bet you there's a lot of people scrambling, unsure what to do. That's why I just can't imagine selling now or like any time in the last couple of years. It makes absolutely no sense to me. Especially not since a year ago, when one side of the aisle says we want to legalize it at the federal level recreationally, and the other one saying that you want everything else but that. But almost, they did say they wanted that if it was states' rights, right? And now they're talking about a descheduling commission. So again, you really have to to get clear on what it is you're here to do, because I see so many people that just turn into traders, right? They're here as investors, and then all of a sudden they turn into traders, and they're making decisions on the fly as they enter, and they enter they put in probably more than they were willing to lose. They went a little too heavy, and then they start making decisions on the fly, and then they get completely wrecked, right? You got to decide: are you an investor? Are you a long-term holder? Or are you a trader? And I see so many people that start off as a long-term holder, or start off as a trader, and then they say, oh, now I'm a long-term holder, and then they go back to trading again, and they never have a plan, right? So case in point, this TLRY exit video, like, who cares? If prices go up tomorrow, if they go down tomorrow, if we get news about rescheduling or don't get news about rescheduling, the great thing about my TLRY plan and exit plan is I know when to sell and when not to sell. If the price gets to $10, I take out my initial investment. So if the price gets to $10, I take out, which was, I don't disclose how much shares this is just a hypothetical, but my first take profit is going to be $10 to take out my initial investment. So that'd be 2750 shares. Again, I could have more than that, less than that. This is just an example based on 10,000 shares. So, and then you have to think this has now been post reverse split, so that 10,000 shares would be now 1,000 shares, right? So it's just a hypothetical. But yeah, and that's $100 now, like I said, because you multiply everything by 10. So you divide the shares by 10, multiply the price by 10. So my first take profit would be $100, right? If we get to $23 tomorrow or this week, which is very possible because that's only $232, right? Factoring in post split, we were just at $232. So that's $23.20. We could easily be there tomorrow or this week, right? Because we were just there not too long ago without all this news. Why couldn't we go there again, right? Why can't we go beyond that, right? We could even go to $25 or $30 this week potentially, which is only, like I said, $2 or $3. So that's very doable. And yeah, the great thing about this exit plan is, did we hit that price? No? Okay, I don't sell. Did we hit that price? Yes. Okay, I sell. And then I go to the next one. Okay, I take another 5% out at $150. Okay, do we hit that price? No. Don't sell. Did we? Yes. Okay, hit that. We sell, right? It's very simple versus people coming in and making decisions on the fly. See how stressful that is? Why not just create a plan? And you create the plan before you enter, right? You have your exit plan before you even enter. And then it's so much easier. Some people might hold until this particular event. I have it in my long-term account. I'm holding until the U.S. legalizes at the federal level. And that's in my TFSA. It's a tax-free savings account, so everything grows tax-free. But that's a lot less capital in that account, and I'm holding that very, very long term. Whereas I could, in my RRSP, my short-term account, which are these profits here, I could be taking my first profit within a couple of months, right? We could see TLRY at $100 if we get rescheduling and safer banking and uplisting. Like this thing could be at $100, which is only $10, right? Post split, so or pre-split, factoring in the post split. So, that could happen this year or 2026, whereas I highly doubt we're going to see the U.S. legalization for at least a couple of years, right? If we get the descheduling commission this summer announced, well, they're going to have to, it's going to take them some time to get everything and get their ducks in a row and compile all the information, and then they're going to have to get Congress to sign off on it, right? So it's probably going to be maybe before the next elections in 2028. But they're going to want to get safer banking. I've been saying this for a long time. They're going to want to get rescheduling. It's going to make it easier to move everything, the needle on everything else. Then they're going to want to get safer banking. Why? And then uplisting to the NYSE and the NASDAQ, because they're going to want to get these U.S. names uplisted so that the major Wall Street banks can participate. Nothing happens in the world without JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and Morgan Stanley. So once they get that done, then they'll do full-blown legalization. And what's happening now? Oh, rescheduling, CBD for Medicare. They said want to get safer banking done before the midterms, uplisting to the NYSE and the NASDAQ. And then summertime, we have the Descheduling Commission announcement, not decision, announcement. So they're just getting the Descheduling Commission started as early as summer, right? And it might not even happen by summer. It could be fall, could be late, could be 2027, right? So, and then it's going to take them a while to figure it out. So this is exactly the playbook that we're pretty much looking at, that I've been saying for years now. And it's not because I have a crystal ball. It's just you got to put yourself in the shoes of a terrible human being market maker, right? And the absolute devil, right? And this is what they do. They're pieces of crap, right? So you got to try to put yourself into, like, the worst terrible human shoes, and that's the Wall Street bankers. There's nothing worse on planet Earth than a Wall Street banker, right? Like, they have to be the devil in plain sight. So if you can just think like an absolute piece of crap human being, then you'll probably do better, and you'll probably be able to navigate which way they're going to go, because that's all I do. I try to think like a Wall Street crook, and it does wonders. So TLRY can run 50 to 100% easily if we get Schedule 3. Yeah, I mean, yeah, another 100% move would basically just bring us to where we just were, right? If you zoom out here to the monthly time frame, the high was 23.20, so 232. But yeah, just another 100% move from the close would be right to that high, right? But we are at 13. We closed at 13.53 after hours, so you would adjust for that. So you would go to 13.53-ish. So that's about a 70% move to the high of the earnings report a couple months ago. So if you're at 13.53-ish after hours, another 100% move would be up around $3 or $30 post-split. So yeah, easily. And then if we break 23.20, we're a monthly uptrend confirmed. That's going to be the first time since $67 or $670 now. So, yeah, things are going to get spicy. I would not be surprised if TLRY opens at 25 to 30. Yeah, pizza, it's certainly possible. I'd say maybe $20, but I don't know. It's hard to say. Are people going to be waiting, still skeptical for the pen to paper on the executive order? Or has this descheduling commission just sent everything into orbit? I think we're pretty close to orbit. Yeah, we'll see. Bloomberg, CNBC, so many other news sources told it was coming on Monday. Yeah, so did MJ Biz Daily, MJ Herald. There was that other something breaking news or something like that on X, had almost 1 million followers, was talking about it. Wall Street Journal. What do you expect? Mirza says, what do you expect the price of TLRY to be tomorrow? Yeah, like we said, it could easily be at $20 to $25. If we get the executive order signed, it could even be at $30. Oxley MJ Group Sleeping Giant, I agree. Best case, TLRY opens at 15 and runs till 30. Yeah, I think that's a solid assessment. Like I said, we're 13.53 after hours, so. And that was before the descheduling commission news, I believe. Normal case, TLRY opens at 13 and runs at 20. TLRY opening at $15 is kind of bearish if you ask me. Different case, maybe nothing will happen Monday and drop down to 9. Major fund, and boom. Thursday we get the announcement and all big boys go to, yeah. I mean, we're getting pretty down into speculation land here now, right? At the end of the day, no one really knows, but you can just look at resistance, and we have a major level there at 23, and then after that, nothing until about 30. So I would say 25 to 30 makes sense if we get the executive order signed. But again, with this descheduling commission into the mix now, that might put things on steroids. I don't think they'll let retail have any chance to buy into this rally. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Again, people selling for, like, I would never sell for tax loss harvesting. Like, no way. And plus, if you're gonna sell a loss, you have to have a gain, right? So if you didn't have a capital gain, there's no point on taking the loss. So what am I buying tomorrow morning that hasn't run yet? Well, that's up to you. But not financial advice, of course. This is entertainment purposes only. I would certainly be keeping an eye on SNDL, OGI. Those are heavy laggards at the moment, and they're both listed on U.S. major exchanges, so just poised for eruption, in my opinion. Keep in mind, SNDL was a big meme coin as well in 2021, so if I had to pick one, it would probably be SNDL, just based on the lagging nature of it and the past kind of attention that it has gotten. And I think they're a great company. I think they're going to do well. They're sitting on a war chest of cash and no debt. I really doubt we will dump on the announcement that the whole sector has been waiting on for years. Yeah, I agree. I don't see any other scenario but moon tomorrow. I could be wrong. I agree. I said only if we don't hear any news on Monday. Okay, yeah. But again, you have to factor in the descheduling commission too. That changes everything because now we have markets are forward looking, right? So if they know that that's coming as well, well, again, it's kind of just hearsay at this point. It's still not coming from the horse's mouth and it's still not formed. So again, it's all talk at this point. Anything could change on a dime, right? Look how quickly they changed their tune on crypto. They hated it. Oh, we have this thing called the dollar. And now they're like, oh, we can pay off the whole debt with crypto? You mean we can pay off like 40 trillion in debt with crypto and stable coins because it's pegged to US dollar? And if they want to buy the stable coin, they have to hold the equivalent of the US dollar? Oh, no, they're not dumb, folks. That's why they created crypto in the first place. And the SEC just greenlit the DTCC to start tokenizing stocks, bonds, and treasuries. So the whole point of crypto, folks, was to make the US dollar stronger and fiat currencies around the world stronger, to make to make money move at the speed of light. So internet of value instead of the internet of information. Markets are going to trade 24/7, 365. You're not going to have a data cooling air conditioning issue in the data center and then all CME futures go down, right? It's going to be decentralized. You're going to have an open source. It's going to be transparent, 24/7, 365 trading. And you're going to see instant settlement. Stocks will settle. There'll be no more waiting a day or two or three for your stocks to settle and get your cash in your account and be able to move it around to different stocks, or tax loss selling, have to wait 2 or 3 days, right? Well, I think it's T+1 now, so it's like the next trading day. So about 24 hours if it's a business day. But yeah, once it's on the blockchain, it's going to be seconds, right? It'll settle in like a couple of seconds, near instant settlement. Gemini is already testing it with RLUSD. Coinbase is getting into tokenized stocks. You already got tokenized stocks on BTCC, which is a partner of the channel. I use that platform so you can trade like, Apple and Amazon, Tesla on a crypto exchange now, right? It's pretty crazy. And you're going to see real estate on chain. It's already happening. The whole world is moving to tokenization. And let me just see here. I forget where I was going with that, but Tuesday down 50% cheaper. The big buys behind the announcement. But that would imply that Bloomberg, CNBC, and other news sources were wrong. Well, again, if it doesn't come on Monday, as long as it comes soon, maybe within a few weeks, Again, does it really matter if it happens on Monday or Tuesday or the week after or the month after, right? Like, we've been here for this long. Be prepared for both. Exactly. That's all we can do. I'm buying pre-open, and I'm already loaded up pretty much, so I don't really need to buy anymore. I only buy if it goes down, so I can't see it being any names down tomorrow. I think we pump over 100% tomorrow. The dump to make retailers scared as hell. Yeah, I think so too. Any bull flags on TLRY? Did that monthly $7 ever pan out? No, that one, it was the weekly bull flag, but it was negated. So now we'll have to get another bull flag for me. Quanti dollary pensate. What? Oh. Looks like a different language. I'm trying to. It looks like something dollar. English to something. How many? Yeah, I knew it was something dollars. What is that? Italian? How many dollars do you think it can get, given in the short sellers who took on huge risks? Now the day of reckoning has arrived. Yeah, that's why I said I would not want to be short in this market right now. Time to go short, like I said, it was a year or two ago, and or maybe more than that. Yeah, not right now. I don't. Do you mean TLRY? I don't really understand the question. Like I said, 50 to 100% should be another expectation for tomorrow. Andrea. Leaf is a great long-term play. What's going on here? My chat. What the? It's not scrolling. My chat's all frozen here. Oh, there we go. Went back in, back out again. Okay. What the hell? Now I don't see Now I don't see the original comments. 167 people. Holy crap. I think we're breaking YouTube, folks. I'm back on the live chat, but now I don't see the comments from before. Stupid YouTube. Okay, give me a second. Can I go... I'm not gonna use the chat on the streaming software here. I'm gonna try it on YouTube itself. Excuse me if I get some ad or something playing here. All right, here we go. Let's see. Let's see if this is better. Yeah, top chat still. So if I go to live chat. Yeah, weird. Same thing. All right, sorry folks if I don't see your question, because literally it's gone. If I scroll up, I'm on live chat instead of top chat. All messages are visible. I scroll to the very top on both YouTube and my streaming software, and it says Tyler's message is the top one. How crazy would it be if we were scheduled to schedule 5 or descheduled? I could see it as a one-up to Biden. So yeah, I don't know if there was any questions before that, but if so, apologies. It's not my fault. Blame YouTube. I blame them for everything, so it's not uncommon. Yeah, that's annoying. How crazy? Yeah. I mean, Schedule 3 seems to be the most likely, and then, but yeah, who knows? As long as it's 3 or better, and then ultimately descheduled. Scott says, let's go, Oxley, baby, you bet. I hope Irwin is done with dilution. From my conversation, it sounded like they might be, but I wouldn't rule out 1 or 2 more rounds, of dilution. Especially with that ATM still alive, I think. I mean, the timing of the reverse split. Yeah, I think they just got lucky, but who knows? At the end of the day, again, it's not the reverse split. That it was how it was communicated and all that stuff that most people were upset about, including myself. I was just blindsided. They could have did it a couple of months before as well. They did it now. The whole thing about the Thanksgiving coming out a day after, and the dilution right after good earnings, and yeah, there's some poor decisions for sure. But yeah, at the end of the day, I don't think they would have known anything. I think it was just getting lucky. Would love for you to get a nice mic in the new year. I have a $200 mic. The peaking isn't super fun. I'd say you better get some new speakers. I don't know what you're talking about. You want to buy me like a $1,000 mic and send it my way? Sure, but I got a $200 and some mic. I'm pretty sure it's fine. Man, people like to complain about nothing. Too old to eat a Wendy's quad burger anymore. Yeah, I was talking about that, Brian, the other day. I was like, who would ever order that? I was like, geez. We'll invest in them when the sell space cake. I don't know what that means. Talking about Wendy's? I don't know. Jay, I'm still pissed about that. 10K shares of CDC, let's go. Brian says, Mesa AZ, home of the SPCE Delta factory. Oh, nice. Oh, Arizona? Yes. Virgin Galactic, is that what you're talking about? Got Chicago in the house. Pennsylvania, you think Tilray can see $300 PPS again? I mean, it'd be 3,000 now because it's multiplied by 10 because of the reverse split. But yeah, it's not going to hit all-time highs for a very long time. I think it could hit all-time highs again, but we're talking maybe 5 to 10 years if that's the case. But we don't need it to go to all-time highs to make life-changing wealth, right? Like if you bought Tilray a few months ago, well, a long time ago now, it would have been June of 2025. So you bought it in June 2025, and we just go back to the highs of September 2023. That's a 800% move. If we go back to the highs of March 2022, that's a 25x, so $1,000 into $25,000. And if we just go to the high of February 2021, you're looking at 181x, so $1,000 into $180,000. So how many thousands of dollars would you need to invest in getting 180? If you invest 5,000, you're a millionaire, right? Just to go back to the highs of February 2021, which was $67 versus $300, but now $670 and $3,000. I was talking to some people in the Power Group private community this weekend. If we go 10x on MJ, there's lots of millionaires in the Power Group private community. Like, there's already millionaires in the Power Group private community, but there'd be a lot more. There was also an article the other day saying that 1 in 10 Americans are now millionaires. That's got to be bullshit. I don't know what the hell they're smoking over there. But 1 in 10 Americans are millionaires. Okay, so how many's on here now? So there's 157 viewers. So we should have 15 millionaires. Like, ridiculous. There's no way. Short squeeze potential. Oh yeah, it's already happening. When names are up 50, 80%, that's you're hitting short squeeze. But keep in mind, TLRY short percentage of the float was only like 8 or 9% last time I checked. So it's still pretty low. But yeah, like I said, who in their right mind would want to be short right now? You got Chris from Wisconsin. How you doing? I'm going to buy back in, but I would like to take a little profit for once. What day do you think it will drop after signed in? Perhaps Friday. Oh, it's a little too early to tell all of that, my friend. All depends if the executive order gets signed or not. And now we have this descheduling commission as well, so hard to tell. And is SPY going to cooperate? Is SPY going to see a massive correction or continue seeing those daily and weekly bull flags like I mentioned up to 700, 800 on SPY? If that's the case, then yeah, it's really too early to tell. We'll just continue to monitor it, but there's no signs of a pullback yet. I would say at earliest, into the end of the week. Both parties want Schedule 3, so not too much problems with the 30 days where we already have Christmas season, so almost 2 to 3 weeks of that time frame. Yep. They should go up 300% and hold if we're truly bottoming. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it'll go up 200 or 300% and hold. I'd say to go up 200, 300%, then pull back 20, 30, maybe even 40%, and then go again, but yeah, we definitely don't want to drop back into lower lows or anything like that. Older Gent says, seeing how Oxy seems to be consolidated lately, what are your thoughts? 20 cents. Yeah, so the next major target on Oxley was the weekly bull flag. The ascending triangle is 23 cents, and then the bull flag of 30 cents. And then the next major price action is resistance is at 35 cents. So, yeah, I think Oxley should be at 30 cents over the coming months here. We got Pakistan in the house. Wow, we're all over the globe. Welcome. I'm wondering how Oxy will do with this move also. Yeah, so I pretty much already covered that a little bit earlier. So again, Oxy just went from a penny to 19 cents, right? Already had its EMA 12 and 26 bull cross on the monthly months ago. Other names are just starting to see the monthly bull cross now. So Oxy's actually been front running this, and it's not listed on US major exchange, right? So if you're not listed on the NYSE or the NASDAQ, sorry, you're getting like 10% or less of the volume that other names are getting, if not maybe even 5% or less. So until Oxy is listed on a U.S. major exchange, until they expand out of Canada and start making a name for themselves outside of Canada, then but you can't complain, right? Went from a penny to we're now at 15.5 cents. So it's probably up on average. It's probably up more than pretty much every other MJ stock out there over the last year or so. But it also went from $1.30. Or sorry, went from, oh shit, never mind. It went from $3 to a penny. Yeah, so it actually went down probably the most as well. It literally lost 99.66%. So pretty much lost 100% of its value once a $2.97 stock dropped to literally a penny and a half. No, a penny. $2.97 to a penny. Wild. One's first recent analyst coverage buy rating. Yeah, definitely a buy. Everything's a buy right now, in my opinion. For the most part, at least the tier 1s and 2s. Howdy from NH. NH, what's that, New Hampshire? Could you do a Cresco chart if you have the time? Yeah, we can take a quick peek at it. That ticker's always dumb. I hate it. C. Where the hell is it? Why is it on? C. No, that's Charlotte's Web. CL. I like to chart it on the. Man, I hate that ticker. It's like CRL. Yeah, CRLBF. It's a terrible ticker. Can't stand it. Yeah, that one's confirming a monthly uptrend as well. So we have our low, high, higher, low. So we need to break 162. Break that, and then it's monthly uptrend confirmed, and then really we should be at 270s in a hurry. 250, 270. I also hope Oxley... Where are we at? I lost my spot again. I also hope Oxley will profit from this. Well, this has nothing to do with profit. You mean the price goes up on the share price? Profitability and share price goes up is two very different things. They might need to consider going international. Yeah, so they have already, I was already interviewed them, and they've already said that they will participate internationally when the time is right, and Imperial Brands will help them do it. They operate in like 150 countries or something like that, so they will participate. But I don't think that's what they need. It's a U.S. major exchange that they need, because that's where the money is, right? Look at all the other names that aren't on the NASDAQ or the NYSE or the U.S. major exchanges. Their volumes are basically nothing. Actually, it's around the same as Oxley, right? Around that 3 or 4 million shares. But keep in mind, Oxley's a lot cheaper, so the dollar volume wouldn't be nearly as much. But yeah, you get them on a U.S. major exchange, get an international expansion, and then Bob's your uncle. So TLRY has to go to 3,000 a share to get back to all-time high. Yeah, now that the reverse split happened. Do you see TLRY pop up on Monday on the executive order and then fading down by Friday? Yeah, I mean, if we get the executive order, yeah, that's probably what would happen. Yeah. Like I say, a couple 100% move, and then, you know, after a 200, 300% move, you need to expect at least a 20 to 30% pullback, right? Easily, like minimum. And it would just be healthy, and then it sets up the potential for bull flags, right? So, continuation. Nothing goes in a straight line forever. Nothing goes in a straight line down forever. So, TLRY exit video. I know the 10x, but maybe I thought you would have different targets. But no worries. Thanks, bro. Yeah, no, everything would stay the same. I know everybody seems to get really tripped up on these reverse splits. It's really simple. You just divide the shares by 10 and you multiply the price by 10. Market cap stays the same. The value of your investment stays the same. Nothing changes. So anything else, whether it be a buying, if you were planning on buying at $1, well, now you're planning to buy at $10, right? It's just multiply them by 10, and then you get 10 times, or 10. You'd get divide the shares that you would have by 10, but the amount of dollars is still the same. So if I sell $10 pre-split versus post-split, doesn't matter. The value of those shares that I sold are still the same, right? So if I was going to sell 2,700 shares and get my initial investment out, and let's say it's, I don't know, I'm just making up numbers, but let's say I'm going to sell 2,700 shares and get at $10 and get what is it? What would that be, like $27,000 or something? So let's say I get that money. Well, what's the difference if I sell 270 shares at $100? It's still the same amount of money, right? 270 shares at $100 is the same as 2,700 shares at $10. Yeah, no problem at all. TLRY $3,000 tomorrow. I'm just kidding. I would like to imagine, though. Yeah, that's not happening. Just purchased Y CBD late Friday. Nice. Yeah, that one had a big pop, so the CBD coverage. And when you see that kind of stuff happen, and that gives you a lot of reassurance that it's probably going to happen, right? And look at that volume. Wow. And we still got half the month left. But yeah, that's massive. We just hit a high of 149 after just being at 47 cents, so like a VFF type move, right? Yeah, I'd be cautious on some of these names, though. They're up a lot in a very short period of time. Smash a drink of water here. If Tilray ever goes to 3K, I get out and retired a long time ago. Yeah, I don't need it to go to 3,000 to make any kind of generational wealth. If it goes to 300 now, post-split, I'll be more than happy. Good, I can dream. Yep. Meme would fit here. Those XMG cans looking cheap compared to getting a cocktail at the bar nowadays. Absolutely. I was just at the store the other day and get 6 XMGs for $34 Canadian. So that's 60 milligrams. And then in terms of US dollars, $34 would be like 25 bucks. So you get 6 cans of 6 beverages, XMGs for like 25 bucks US. Let's hope it holds 25. Any hope on CanTrust to ever come back to an exchange? Oh, God. I haven't heard that name in a long time. No, when you're hiding stuff from the government and growing illegally, I would say you're probably banned forever. You should be, anyway. Should never be allowed to even operate, as far as I'm concerned. Long term here, we are still far from any decent price. I know so many big long-term investors who bought at $20 prior reverse split and keep them long-term, so they have to wait now at 200. Yeah. Do you think Tilray will rally for a couple of days and then drop down? Yeah, I think we answered that question. I paid 69 cents, thank God. Hey, so damn, we live. Let's go. It's time. You bet. You have a lot of people saying Schedule 3 doesn't benefit Tilray. I know Earn has stated before they can enter medical within 90 days, but should they put out a statement on how they can do it? Yeah, and they said they might even go to acquire a pharma company or something, or partner with a pharma company, right? So, but yeah, it's going to unlock medical. And just look at the volume coming in. Like, how does it not benefit Tilray? It's on a U.S. major exchange. It was right on CNBC. It's like, how does that not benefit Tilray? It said here, reclassification coming as soon as Monday, Tilray up 40%. That doesn't benefit Tilray? Just the media blitz alone benefits Tilray. It literally mentioned Tilray out of any other name in the U.S. So, just the sheer amount of attention. And again, where do day traders go? They don't go into TrueLeaf. They don't go into Oxley, right? Because they don't have the liquidity. They go into names like Tilray. They go into names like CGC. They go into names like MSOS. It's very simple. But yes, the medical side of things. And then you think it's just going to stop with Schedule 3? Again, if we're going to go to Schedule 3, that's not the end goal. That's just to get everything else over the finish line. Then they're going to go safe banking. Then they're going to go uplisting to the NYSE and the NASDAQ. Then they're going to do interstate commerce, full-blown legalization. And then Tilray is going to exercise its option for MedMen. They're going to create the McDonald's of the retail industry of MJ, right? And they're going to create all these stores. They're going to probably franchise out the MedMen brand. They're going to probably partner with a pharma company or buy one or partner with one, right? Who knows? Maybe Pfizer comes in and buys Tilray. Maybe Coca-Cola comes in and buys Tilray. You never know. Like, all this stuff could happen. If we get executive order on Monday, what is your target by the end of the week? $30. By the end of the year, $50. Yeah. That I don't know about the end of the year for 50, but I would say, yeah, pen to paper, I can see easily 30 to 40 bucks. Good point, Cap. Says David. Sylvia says, don't forget now the big investors may jump in as it is out of $1 if reschedules to Schedule 3. Or sorry. Don't forget now big investors may jump in as it's Schedule 1 if rescheduled to Schedule 3. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying about Kevin O'Leary, right? He said he was all over this company, he wanted to buy it, but his lawyer told him he was effing crazy. It's the same as heroin. Schedule 1. So, yeah. Couldn't agree more. What would the price be if they never did the reverse split? Isn't it easier to move the dollar at dollars than tens of dollars? I know fundamentals don't change. Actually, it's the opposite. Many people think with so many shares, it's harder to move the share price. With lower shares, lower float, it's easier. I don't really think it matters a whole lot, because then there's institutional investors who like being over $5. So yeah, I don't think it really matters a whole lot, but some people view it differently. Some people say the opposite. Some people look at it as a bad thing. Some people say it's a good thing. I think it's kind of here nor there. I think it kind of balances out on the end of the day. And but yeah, what would the price be? You would just divide it by 10. It'd be $1.30 after hours, which is still $1 less than where we just were on the earnings, right? So we still have about 100% of the way to go just to get back to where we were a couple of months ago. But we should be there tomorrow or this week, in my opinion, if we get pen to paper on the executive order, the EO. Some people are saying Trump would not let Canadian companies enter the U.S. market. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Why are all these big alcohol companies that are based in the U.S. partnering with Canadian companies? Like, why would they treat it, if they're going to treat it like alcohol? Do you think that Canadian companies can't sell alcohol in the U.S.? Like, it's going to be better than, it's going to be treated even more superior than alcohol. Alcohol is poisoning. This is medicine, right? So yeah, no, I don't believe that at all. And like, TLRY is headquartered in New York. It's right there on Wall Street. I would question the people's IQ who are saying that. Like I said, put your pennies next to their dollars. What is Altria? What is Imperial Brands doing? What is British American Tobacco doing? What is Philip Morris doing? What is Constellation Brands doing? What are all these big corporations doing with billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars? They're investing in Canadian companies. I've yet to see one partner with the U.S. company. So you think that the big alcohol, big pharma, big tobacco, they're not gonna lobby the U.S. government for interstate commerce and country to country, import export? I would bet on the billion-dollar corporations knowing something versus some low IQ individual on X who doesn't have a clue from his ass crack from his gooch. You know, it's there's so many of those people. CDC, yeah, I would ask that you please tone it down on the spam, though. That's the state of the board. Martin put a video out over the weekend that the board is still selling shares and in fighting. I don't know who you're talking about. Are you talking about TLRY? And are you talking about Martin Lucas Investor? An hour and 13. Well, you gotta love when everybody. No one likes to cover things when they're down, but once the excitement comes and the hype comes, oh, you know, they rush in for those views. It's like all the other YouTubers. That's fine. They can come in pumper bags, but yeah, this one right here. I'm not going to play it right now, obviously, but the live stream, it looks of it, is it? Yeah. Haven't talked to Martin in a while. Somebody's doing okay, but what's the board is still selling shares. So you mean dilution? Yeah, that was right after the earnings report. That was one of the things we weren't too happy about. Well, it's not the dilution that we weren't happy about. It was the day right after good earnings, and then like the day before Thanksgiving. It was the reverse split thing. And schedule opens up exports across state lines for research, clinical studies, clinical trials and everything, FDA drug testing. That's why they need to out a statement. TLRY also has an HQ in New York. Okay, exactly what I just said. How would VFF look for tomorrow? Sorry, I don't remember if you said anything. Mankey says, Yeah, this one's actually looking really good. I've already done some analysis on this one. So we have the ascending triangle and the bull flag target. So ascending triangle is pretty much met there at 408. And then we have the bull flag target of 739 on the weekly time frame. Look at how many weekly bull flags. 1, 2, 3. And an ascending triangle to top it all off. But we are seeing some bearish RSI divergence with higher lows and higher highs on the price and lower highs, lower lows on the price action. So yeah, this thing could pop up to, maybe $6-7, and then you could easily pull back 40-50% and still just be healthy. But that would more than likely be into the end of the week, like we were saying earlier, if we get pen to paper tomorrow on the EO. Do you think we get an EO tomorrow? I'm not sure. I would say just based on the amount of volume, based on the amount of hype and CNBC on the main page, everything, all media outlets activated, I would put it probably definitely favoring that we get it tomorrow. I would say odds are definitely in favor of that. But, again, I don't care. I don't care if it happens yesterday, tomorrow, a week from now, a year from now. None of my plans change, right? Did my sell targets get reached? No? Okay, don't sell. Did the price hit the target that I wanted to? Okay, I take my first sell, right? So it's just really simple. I think the thing about the stock market and just investments is people tend to overcomplicate everything, right? And it's because people get emotional, right? You're dealing with a lot of money a lot of the time, and sometimes people go too heavy. And but I would put it odds favoring it for sure. But again, until we get pen to paper. But with this descheduling commission, again, it sort of adds more fuel to the fire. Even if we don't get the executive order, we could still continue trending higher. And then if we get the executive order in a day or two after Monday, then we could continue to erupt, right? So it's going to be interesting. VFF has headquarters in Florida. Yeah, I think that makes sense, yeah. Pretty sure you're right. Cureleaf, baby. I have CGC, OGI, VFF, MSOS, TLRY. Nice. Solid picks there, Snow. At what price do shorts get completely nuked? Oh, there's always shorts piling in. But like I said, TLRY only had like 8% left of the float short. But yeah, if they're not already nuked, I would say they'd be nuked tomorrow. Thoughts about GTII? It's rated quite high, no pun intended, a stable company. Yeah, it's one of those names where I think it'll be a safer bet. I'm not a big fan of it, but I don't think you're going to see like massive gains, but you also won't see like massive losses either. I think it's like a safer bet, kind of like an IPR, if you will. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of the management. He seems pretty cocky, and I don't know. They don't really operate in very many states. Like TLRY operates in more countries than they do states. Yeah, it's now the hemp ban too at the Signorita brand. I don't know. I own a little bit of GTII, but I'm just not 100% sure on their. I also don't really hear anything about their products. Some people say their products are a little overpriced and the rise. I also don't like when people are into retail and being a producer. I think that's the complete wrong way to go about it. I remember when Sebastian St. Louis and Hexo was saying that. He's like, I don't believe anybody should be into the retail business if you're a producer. And then look, Canopy Growth their Tokyo Smokes got just destroyed. I remember Value Buds, which is owned now by SNDL, they were boycotting. They took all Canopy's products off the shelves because Canopy opened a store next to one of their one of their Value Buds. So they got really pissed off and they boycotted, and they took all their products off and sold them to staff members for like an 80% discount. So I just think that's absolutely stupid to be in competition with your competitors. And why not just make great products and give them to the retailers, right? Just doesn't make any sense to me. So the fact that all these U.S. names are vertically integrated and it's like seed to sale, I just don't think that's the right way to go about it. Rod, go live with Martin Lucas tomorrow. He said TLRY 10X wins Supreme Court. Give us a hint versus Bondi. Trump makes the executive order 200%. Yeah. Trump's approval rating is at its lowest. He needs a big win. He will approve it. Yeah, I do think so too. Safer banking next. Smells like Irwin knew something was coming very soon with the reverse split. Yeah, I doubt it. I think it just got lucky, to be honest. And they said that they had to do it at the end of the quarter, which was the end of November, and or else they would have had to wait till like January or something like that. So I don't know. I don't think they knew anything. And to be betting on the U.S. doing something, that's a pretty bad strategy. Imagine if you did that the last 7 years. Capped, you're so right. Man, we had a long time waiting for this. Is just the start. Good luck, everyone. We're lucky to be in this cannabis boom. Absolutely. Or was Simon just lucky? I think so, yeah. Still not a fan of Simon. Me either anymore. Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's good and bad. Nobody's perfect. But people remember the bad over the good. And when you do like 3 or 4 things back to back to back to back, it really pisses people off. So, you know, kind of deserved it, to be honest. What about Aurora and IMCC, especially Aurora, who had also a great quarter? Well, again, the stock's at 4 cents, right? It's actually a 4-cent stock. It did 2 reverse splits, so it did a 1 for 12, then a 1 for 10. So if you look at Moo, it actually doesn't factor in the reverse split on the price action. So this didn't even hit 5 cents after hours. It's a $5 stock, but you have to divide 546 by 10 and then divide that by 12 because they did a 1 for 12, then a 1 for 10. So it's technically a penny stock at 5 cents. Actually, yeah, it's after hours. It's only at 4 cents. So that's probably why it's been garbage for so long. And yeah, they had one good earnings report, but they're not even a player in the recreational market in Canada anymore. They're like I think they weren't even in like the top 20 market share in Canadian rec. So they're only focusing on international, really. I own a little bit of it in my portfolio. Maybe 1% of my MJ portfolio is allocated to it. I think there's a lot better plays out there, but they seem to be focusing on the niche market, and I would say they're probably due to get acquired at some point. They're probably a bio target, big pharma, something. I want a Christmas present. This would be great if it happens tomorrow, right? I really don't think. Lost my spot again. Holy crap. Okay, I'm going to have to go quicker here. 166 people, and I've still got half the chat to go through. I want a Christmas present. I really don't think Bloomberg and CNBC would have used the word Monday if they weren't 100% sure it'd be happening tomorrow, to be honest. Yeah, exactly. I'd say definitely favoring tomorrow. Pizza Man, I agree. Could be just luck. It doesn't seem like it to me. The timing was too on point, but either way, I'm just praying. Well, if not, that would mean they have insider information. So that's probably not a good thing either. Just goes to show you that the whole world's a stage even more. I'd rather lucky than that they have insider information. What's a few more days? My 120k shares? Because yeah, if they had insider information, that's not fair. But I mean, Scott's Miracle-Gro CEO, right? They have Hawthorne, so they have a division for MJ. He was told by Trump. He said it himself. Trump said he's going to reschedule. So if you're a CEO of an MJ company, and you see another CEO that has an MJ subsidiary, like it's not like it's rocket science. It's not like we're talking Morse code here. Another MJ CEO said, Trump told me he's going to reschedule. So if you're a CEO of another MJ company, you're going to be like, oh, well, Trump told him. Well, there's a pretty good chance that it's probably happening soon, right? I mean, again, the writing's been on the wall. If you've been living under a rock, then you'd be surprised by this. But if you've been awake for the last year with your eyes and ears open, you'd be like, oh, like, this is totally what we were expecting. It just took longer than expected. What's a few more days? My 120k shares have been waiting 7 years, ready to execute my personal exit strategy. There you go. Well said, Tanks. Tanks, nice. David said, me either, that's for sure. A lot of us. I'm holding until I get my magic number. That may be another year. How do you feel now after the blow up last week? I don't know what you mean. The blow up last week. You mean like TLRY or? No, I still feel the same. I don't change my, if I'm upset about something, I don't like the way management does something, I don't change the next week. Even if rescheduling comes, it's like, I don't care. You still could have communicated it better. You could have, there's 100 ways you could have done it better, right? You didn't have to announce the reverse split the day before Thanksgiving and then be silent for 2 days and then come out and say, and then turn the comments off on the post, right? But you know why? They're getting all kinds of threats, that's why. I don't say that word on here, so we'll keep going. Sorry, David. Any hope on CanTrust ever come? No. They're lucky to even have a name. My present will be my portfolio flying. The sound is much better than a few months ago. All good here. Yeah, so it's the same mic. It's just the software. There's always updates to the software, and you always have to there's your computer sound, and there's their software sound, and I use multiple streaming platforms as well. But yeah, I think I got it pretty much figured out for the most part. Mike sounds great, thank you, appreciate it. Yeah, so buddy who said that, or guy, gal, whoever you are, you might want to get yourself some new speakers. I ordered Wendy's quads on the reg. That's crazy. Yeah, they're not nearly as big in person though, right, as they look in the picture. Hey there, do you know what the current short total percentage of TLRY is? Would love to see a squeeze. Yeah, so you have to think too with the short, it's only updated a couple times a month, so I think it was 8 something last time I checked, but it should be open again, updated again mid-month. Yeah, 8.53% short interest. So is this the week I'm calling my boss, right? Yeah, I love that meme. It's like somebody in the crypto community posted it. I think it was James Rule XRP. He's like, it was Kermit the Frog, and it was his boss looking at Kermit, and he's like, you're late for work. He's like, and it shows XRP pumping or something. He's like, watch your mouth. Damn, I died at that meme. Boss says you're late. Looks at XRP price. You know what, boss? Watch your mouth. 2718 TLRY style pump is coming starting tomorrow. Yeah, certainly would be the time, wouldn't it? There's no drop after. Yeah, moon only. I gotta start wrapping it up here. Love your podcast, buddy. Always wondering to get your take. Always wanting to get your take. Is that what you meant? Thank you very much, Kenzie. I appreciate it. Glad you're getting value out of it. Yeah, I work pretty hard to get as much info and value out as possible. So always wonderful to get your take. Okay, gotcha. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Well, I'm glad you're getting value, my friend. Why is Laura Ingraham so against MJ? She had Kevin Sabet from Sam on her show. Oh, that's because they are puppets. That's exactly why. They're working for the incumbents, Big Pharma, alcohol, tobacco. You ever notice how anything they say doesn't make any sense? That's a good indication that they're probably a plant, right? And I'm not talking an MJ plant. I'm talking they were planted there by the incumbents to talk nonsense. And just, it's called what do they call it? What's that kind of speak? It's like circle speak or something. They just go around and around and around without saying nothing. They say a lot, but they don't really end up saying anything. So they're just trying to tweak the people who don't think it should be legalized, but they know that it's gonna be legalized, right? They're just doing that for a front, right? To slow the industry down. High Tide price target. Yeah, well, High Tide's one of those names that really doesn't benefit from any of this at all, other than that it's in the sector and it'll benefit from the hype. Still a weekly bear flag. Could see 182, but needs to get over $3 ASAP. After hours, it was at 294, so only up 2 pennies. Yeah, rightly so. It has no business really moving at all, right? It's a retail in Canada, just expanded to Germany and accessories first. Yeah, they literally benefit zero, nothing off of this. So yeah, maybe $5 in the next little while, next couple weeks or so. But yeah, I wouldn't say high tide's really not that known either. And then again, like all these US MSOs, they're into retail as well. So I don't know how high tide's model is going to work in the US, but or how it's gonna, or are they going to come in and eat the lunch of the MSOs? That's a big wild card for me. But yeah, $5 should be over the next couple weeks. Seems pretty reasonable. Yes, baby, hodl tight, everyone. Just on the simple, let me see if I can read this. Just on the simple, somewhere in the next week statement, Tilray hit 250, now 25. So easy, much higher after a solid signature from the MJ Hero Trump. Those of you new to this channel, you've been missing out. You want real, honest content, follow and join. Been with them since the beginning, and this is not paid advice. Thank you very much. Thanks. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, I'm not here to give fluff and, get people in, clickbait. Tilray to 100, Tilray to 1,000. Only make content when the price goes up. Don't want to be an idiot when the price is going down. Oh, and like now the YouTubers don't even hide it. They're like, I don't make content because I don't get views. It hurts my channel's algorithm. Imagine being a slave to the algorithm. Oh God. The day I don't make content because of an algorithm not liking it. If that was the case, I wouldn't be making any content for the last 5 years because all my content have been MJ related and the algorithm hates it. All my videos, half the time I don't even know if my video is going to even get monetized because it's MJ, right? So shame on these terrible, terrible people. Yeah, can't stand it, to be honest. Do we feel high tide will follow Tilray? I mean, everything's going to follow everything, right? Everything's going to melt up. It's just there's going to be leaders and laggards. Some will move more than the others. And yeah, Tilray will definitely be moving more than high tide. High tide benefits zero. Literally nothing. Pal, thank you very much for your support and info on Tilray. Thank you, Georgie. I appreciate it. Glad you're getting value. Guessing Tilray will have 100 million shares traded tomorrow. What do you think? Yeah, certainly possible. It's like 84 million, right? Cresco have some good pens. Good pens. Not sure what you mean by that. Pens. What is your opinion on Beyond Meat? I don't like the products very much. Yeah, I don't know. They signed a deal with Walmart, didn't they? That was a really risky play. I mean, maybe a good YOLO bet, but 10x on Tilray tomorrow. I don't know about that. 1,000% gain to be pretty crazy, but 10x on Tilray would be 10x on Tilray. You'd be at $130, $13 after hours. Cool, thanks. 10K on Tilray tomorrow, 125. Yeah, I can't see that happening. Someone definitely knew something last week when prices jumped from 7 to 8 for no reason. I wouldn't consider a jump from 7 to 8 very high. But yeah, there's definitely insiders, right? How do you think Nancy Pelosi's worth $500 million on a $200,000 a year salary? She's just the best investor of all time. Makes sense. 10K on Tilray tomorrow. Oh, 10X, sorry. I'm holding Cura time to get paid. You bet. You deserve it. Wonder what this will be with institutional buying. Absolutely. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. Just wait until uplisting to the NYSE and NASDAQ for a lot of these MSOs. Should we buy Oxy tomorrow morning along with SNDL? That's going to be up to you. I don't think you could go wrong with either or, though. 10x on Tilray in the morning, 125. Guessing 100 million Tilray shares traded tomorrow. Yeah, it's very possible. CGC, please. Yeah, CGC's looking good. That was an hourly bull flag, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, into the end of the day on... Or maybe it was a 15-minute bull flag? Yeah, and then we're target's 185, but after hours, I think we were at, what, 194 or something, weren't we? Or 181. So yeah, we're pretty much at that target. A lot of work to do, though. If we zoom out to the monthly time frame, never mind. Yeah, we're close to confirming a monthly uptrend. We were low, high. We're just in an equilibrium. So we're low, high, higher, low, lower, high, higher, low, lower, high. Trying to get above this high here. So break 199, monthly uptrend confirmed. And then, yeah, we're probably going to be up to around $5 in a hurry, I would think. EMA 12 there at 210, and then a lot of runway until the 26th. Like, folks, this is the time where things are going to get pretty crazy. As long as SPY doesn't see the bottom fall out of it, Black Swan or something crazy. Cron, yeah, looking good. Monthly uptrend confirmed. Cureleaf looks to be the biggest benefit of Schedule 3. Yeah, I probably agree with that. Off subject, but 2026 plan is, and keep in mind, Cureleaf, Boris Jordan said that they would probably already be paying a dividend if it wasn't for 280E. So if 280E goes away as a result of rescheduling, could we see a dividend on Cureleaf at some point soon? This would stand to reason, wouldn't it? Off subject, but 2026 plan is taking some profits and picking up some BMNR. Your thoughts on picking up some crypto plays? I can't stand Ethereum or BMNR. That's the Bitmine, isn't it? Bitmine, yeah. No, I don't like Ethereum at all. I'd rather own dirt, to be honest with you. It's dog shit as far as I'm concerned. But it's probably so ingrained into the elites that it's probably going to succeed. But yeah, don't really care. I don't really like these companies, right? They're just way over leveraged, and why not just buy the crypto itself? Like I said, people try to overcomplicate things. You're buying, and a lot of the time you're paying a premium. So why not just buy the actual thing and then get yield on it? You can't get yield on a stock, not yet anyway. And you get yield on it. You can get airdrops. There's so many benefits to owning the actual thing. But if you're going to buy it in like a registered account in your Roth IRA or your TFSA for tax benefits, then that's something different. You'd have to buy a stock or an ETF, right? Until we can add direct crypto into our. But yeah, I run far away from like MSOS, BMNR, Ethereum, Bitcoin. I think they're all way overvalued and way too risky. Did Powell already look at CGC? Yeah, I just took a look at it there, but CBSTF closed up 89% on Friday. I know you don't like this much company, but treating me well. Can you take a look at this one, please? Yeah, CBSTF. That's Cannabis. Yeah, see, that one's not even close to confirming a monthly uptrend, so technically it's one of the weakest of the week. Still in a weekly downtrend. So yeah, I mean, it's a penny stock, right? It's not on the U.S. major exchanges. So, yeah, get above 7 cents, and then we're probably heading back up to that high there at 16 cents, though. That's the major level of resistance. Hope that helps, Scott. We hear you just fine. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming on. I can't wait to go, baby. Are you going to do your risky Tilray videos again? Could be one crazy week. I'd watch every one. Are you going to do your risky Tilray videos again? I don't know what that means. You mean daily videos again? No, probably not. that was a mistake. There's just too much we need to cover, right? I cover crypto as well, and there's like so many different crypto names, so many different MJ names. I'm into real estate and some other stocks and stuff like that, and some of the people in my group, it's just not feasible really to do one every single day, and sometimes it's hard to get content every single day. And to be honest, I'd like to see management start to pick up their slack here and start earning the coverage a little bit more. Cureleaf was sold. Tilray tops 100 million shares traded tomorrow. That'd be sick. Cureleaf was sold. Yeah, no, Cureleaf wasn't sold. Sorry, Tilray will not drop. It's too hot to go up. It won't drop below $80 anymore. Truth. Well, there's a good chance that the bottom is in below $1 for sure, or $10 now. Watch Irwin announce a bad news tomorrow. Oh, I don't think he would do that. I'd say he'd probably be never showing his face in Canada or the United States if that were the case. I'd say he'd be moving overseas and living on an island, private island somewhere where there's no civilization. He loves announcing bad news during pumps. Yeah, no, I think that'd be a terrible mistake. If Trump signs tomorrow, suspect we have a situation like in 2021. Yeah, like things could get pretty nutty, folks. And market liquidity, Fed cutting rates, could see a new chair coming in for the Fed, more rate cuts, stimulus, $2,000 checks in the U.S., removal of income tax. Oh, God. TLRY sucks. There are far better companies to invest in. I disagree. It's like number one. Definitely top three. Operates in more countries than most names operate in states or provinces. But yeah, I mean, if you're going to come on and bash something, I would say to at least give your reasoning why. Like, instead of just saying this sucks, give the reasons why it sucks. Or instead of saying this is the best company to invest in, say why it's the best company to invest in. Nobody gets any value if you just say it sucks or it's good, right? It's and it actually kind of makes you look like an idiot. I'm not going to lie. I'm not trying to be an ass. I'm just being honest. Whatever happened to Zebra Brands? Beats me. No idea. Probably the governments, right? They're weeding out all the small operators, so probably just couldn't weather the storm. Tomorrow's fireworks, absolutely. Hence the thumbnail. You can't even buy it at current prices. Tomorrow morning we'll see a huge gap up. Yeah, well, eventually everything will be trading 24/7, 365 on the blockchain, so you'll be able to buy it any time of the day, on weekends, holidays, etc. So, again, people who couldn't see the future, right? People thought crypto was just, oh, this Bitcoin play and magic internet money, and it's a little niche market, and some people are going to have some fun with it. No, it's going to change the whole world. It's probably the biggest invention of our lifetime, of a species. It's going to everything's stocks, bonds, treasuries. The SEC just greenlit it. They just gave DTCC approval to start tokenizing stocks, bonds, and treasuries. So everything's going to trade 24/7, 365. Everything's going to settle in seconds, not days. And when you go to buy stocks and bonds and all this stuff, it's going to cost a fraction of a penny instead of $5 or $10 to enter and exit a trade. So doesn't that sound awesome, right? Everything will be transparent. There also won't be as much manipulation, right? Because they won't be able to announce this after the bell ends, and then market makers only play, certain people only have aftermarket and pre-market, and yeah, it's just going to make for more democratized, fair, orderly markets and capital formation. More capital is going to enter. There are no other companies out there that are based on that much countries all over the world, so I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's because they don't know what they're talking about. That's why. When people seem like they don't know what they're talking about, it's probably because they don't know what they're talking about. And when someone says, this company sucks, there's better companies, or this company's great, it's the best company, what did you tell us? What value did you bring to the community? Literally nothing. Mostly just people living in an echo chamber following somebody else who said it, and then they're just regurgitating it because they can't explain it, because they don't know how to explain it, because they don't understand. Right? There's, I'm just a parrot, right? It's that parrot that was on that guy's shoulder when he said something, and now I go and say it. Nuke shows Monday, exactly. 100 million TLRY shares, I bet, probably, maybe more. Halts galore tomorrow. Yeah, good chance. TLRY will be at $30 tomorrow evening. I agree. Could very well be there. BFF, GTB, MSOX, Clearleaf. Nice. Rod, back in 2021, the price went up intraday to $29, and then they dumped the shares in after-hours market to think something. Yeah, it really depends, like I said, right? If the executive order gets signed, things are going to erupt, right? But then it's still not an easy road after that. There's probably going to be lawsuits challenging it, etc. But we also have the Supreme Court with Canada Provisions versus Bondi decision tomorrow. So, speaking of law, nope, this time is different than 2021. Say more, Raging Gun. Yeah, again, we want to, instead of just saying broad statements, maybe if you can tell us why you think that. But seriously, it is. Yeah, I think it is different. Multiple presidential tickets saying one wanted to legalize it federally at the recreational federally, and then the other side, medical, safe banking, Florida, right? So the writing's on the wall. Because of that, that's why I think this time is different. And I'm not just saying it's different because I think it's different. Actually backing it up with points. Who buys Aurora, Big Pharma or TLRY? I don't think TLRY should be buying anybody at the moment. But yeah, I'd say probably Big Pharma. They've already partnered with Philip Morris? I think they partnered with Philip Morris on something, so never know. It could even be a tobacco company. I think Simon definitely had some inside knowledge about recent news events. Possible. No one will ever know. And personally, I don't think he did, but at the end of the day, does it really matter? We'll probably never know either. Anyway, so. Even if he knew about it, that doesn't mean he's a genius. That means he had insider information that nobody else had. So, but again, Scott's Miracle-Gro CEO said Trump told him personally that he was going to reschedule. So did Irwin hear the Scott's Miracle-Gro say that and say, okay, I'm going to, I'm going to go with that as the most likely scenario, right? Is it really even insider information when the Scott's Miracle CEO came on and said, Trump told me? It's pretty much public knowledge at that point. It's just a matter of when, not if. CGC is the best one to trade. I would argue probably Tilray now. It has the most liquidity. Don't pray, just get your buy orders placed. The world is an Andy Kaufman, Jim Carrey matrix. Yeah. How wide do you think it will open? I want to buy more. 20, 25 bucks I think could very well be realistic. First hour tomorrow we'll see Tilray at 20, then 25. Yeah, I agree. I'll absolutely laugh at my $5.50 pre-split $55 option calls for January 6th end up being in the money. Yeah. Never going back to Tilray. That's fine. Tilray and MJ are not for everybody. Not for the faint of heart, that's for sure. I wonder how long until big institution investors can buy one Schedule 3 is announced. Probably will take a couple weeks to get everything in order. Yeah, like I said, about a month, and then could be lawsuits, so we'll see. Listen, you buffoon, you think it's going to drop below $1, you're an idiot. I know you lost money on it, but come, let's get real, you're just butthurt. Learn how to trade, amateur. I don't know who you're talking to, Mike, but it's definitely not me. Pizza, I have a call option 2 in the money. Nice. 100 million Tilray shares traded tomorrow. Let's go. 30 days. 30 days to official change. Not sure what you mean by that, but crypto and silver, gold are selling off. Money is going to be moving into MJ. Yeah, I don't see any signs of them cooling down, to be honest. XRP. Yeah, gold back to 3,935, holding above 3K, spiking at 5, then war pops off. Yeah, good. Certainly possible. They talk a lot about say nothing. Oxy might even pop off tomorrow. Yeah, like I said, everything will melt, but until it's on a U.S. major exchange. And thanks, Zach, for being a POW Group YouTube member as well. Other algorithms can eat dust, POW. Absolutely. Nah, yeah, like I said, I could care less about algorithms. If it likes me, doesn't like me, my viral content. I care. I would rather help 2 or 3 people than reach 200, 300,000 people and help no one, right? Because that's generally what happens. Most people are, oh, this video got 10,000 views. It's like, yeah, but what did you actually do? Right? Like, people need the assistance when nobody, like, who was making videos on Tilray for the last 5 years? Who was making videos on MJ for the last 5 years every day when things were down in the dumps and people need the reassurance even more? But the people who come out every day when, like I said, they're not even hiding anymore. These YouTubers are like, oh, now that the views are up, it doesn't hurt my channel so I can cover it, right? People see through that. People don't like to support that. People think that's bullshit. And so do I. MSOX to $50. Tilray to 100 at least. MSOX, here comes the boom. Does Oxy really react to reschedule? No. The answer is no to that. But it will melt up slowly. Oxy will explode tomorrow morning. I doubt it, but it should go up a little bit. But like I said, it's already went up from a penny to 19 pennies, so it's already probably the best performer. Pre-market tonight will be interesting for Tilray. Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Rod. You're welcome, Global. Looking forward to watching tomorrow when you go live with the signing of the EO. Let's go, connoisseurs. Let's get paid. Absolutely. Hopefully I'll come on and do the live stream during the EO. Seriously, it will. If Tilray goes 10x, I might scrum it. And in Canada, if you quote the Bible, you might be subject to jail time. Yeah, I don't know about that, but I avoid everything politics and religion on this channel. RS on a holiday weekend. Pretty sucky move. Just my opinion, not falling for it again. Yeah, that was Pretty brutal, not gonna lie. My shares went from 3,900 to 39. Oh, from 390,000. Or wait, 39,000. Yeah, 3,900 from 39,000. So sad. But again, what people don't mention, Richard, is the value of your investment. Tell me what the value of your investment was at 39,000 shares. Now tell me how much it's worth at 3,900. Right? That's the major thing. Did the value of your investment change? Yes or no? And then there's lots of people who are saying, oh, there's too many shares. There's over 1 billion shares. It's too hard to move the price. And then you got people, oh, now that the price is higher, it's harder to move the price because the price is higher. It's like, you can't win, right? It's just, nobody's right or wrong in that scenario. At the end of the day, did the net asset value change? The value of your shares are still worth the same amount of dollars as they were before. Maybe down slightly because of the reverse split dropped the price 20 or 30%. But the value is still relatively the same. And now you're probably in the green. Well, it's probably worth now more than it was when the reverse split was announced, right? I really enjoy you even when you're sick here on. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you very much, Richard. I appreciate it. Yeah, well, like I said, if you're passionate, if this is your passion, like, no wonder other YouTubers don't come on and talk about it because it's not good for because they're not passionate about it, right? They're not passionate about helping people. They're not passionate about cannabis, right? Those are my passions. My number one. And then my third's technology and crypto, right? Because crypto's in that technology. I've literally been in technology my whole life. So my number one passion is, people, interacting with people, helping people. And, I've always been like that kind of person. And then just, MJ, it's always been my calling. I always loved it. Just super fascinated by it. I grew plants, when it was legalized here in Canada. And, it was very difficult to do so, but I was growing shit like 32%. We were testing it at 32%. Like it was awesome. I had so many none of your business. I remember that strain. That was crazy. But yeah, no, I wanted to, to get into MJ, and what better way to do it through helping people and creating a massive and the best retail community out there, right? There's no better retail community. We truly are. There's other companies out there that are like the business side of things and the bullshit side of things, right? But if you want to go to the MJ Retail Investor Hub, that's this channel, right? We are 80% MJ focused channel. The other 10-20% are crypto and miscellaneous, but this is the best retail investor MJ community on the planet, bar none. There's not even a close second. Canada is so far gone like Europe. I don't know, man. We've been legal for 7 years here at the federal level, and the U.S. is still considering it the same as heroin. I don't know. I'd say y'all better get your shit together down there, at least on the government side. And yeah, I still don't even know what crypto is. It seems to me that Canada's been a little bit of a guinea pig and testing ground for the rest of the world. Because maybe we do it the best. I don't know. I think it's just because Canada are so, the people are so nice that, they don't even care. They're just like, oh, we're going to legalize weed? No, I don't really want it, but okay, sorry, I don't want to be in your way. Whereas, the U.S. is like, they don't even know. Yeah. I'm just kind of playing with you. I love all the American people, but I hate your government more than anything. I'd say it's up there with cancer. I can't stand any of it. But pretty much all governments I hate. But yeah, if there was the number one government that should be completely destroyed and dismantled and start over, that would be the U.S. government for sure. To quote Brad Garlinghouse, the U.S. government is fucked. And notice how he didn't say one party. It's the whole thing. The whole thing is effed. It's rotten from the core, right? But we're slowly getting change, and more people are coming in, and people are starting to go to jail, so that's good. How achievable is 158? 1580 will be my exit. Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to wait quite a while, right? Maybe a year or two, so. Yes, thank you. It is scary. You are awesome. My pleasure. No, I thank you very much. I'm not sure what you mean it is scary. But thank you. Appreciate it. The dollar cost average changes. No, it doesn't. I don't know how it changes. New subscriber, Derek Foot. Welcome. Thanks for becoming a member. Yeah, no, your dollar cost average would change as well, right? If your cost basis, if your average cost was $1, it would change to $10. And if it didn't change yet, that's because your broker didn't update it, or it's just taking some time. Again, nothing changes except for the shares go down and the price goes up. I know that, but that's not what I'm asking. What are you asking then? Thanks again, Rod. Tomorrow will be a great day with or without Trump's signature. Today we had a great day as well. Hope so that we're all in MJ to get out of our losses and into the money. Absolutely. I hate our government too. I think the U.S. government hates the U.S. government, to be honest. It's so corrupt and rotten from the core. Like, look at Elon. He went in and he was like, "Oh, I'm getting out of here." He went in and he thought like one side was not corrupt. He's like, "Oh, this one's less corrupt." Or maybe that's what he was thinking. He's probably like, "This side's less corrupt than the other side." And then he comes in and he's like, "Oh, okay, it's all corrupt." And then he leaves like and runs. And he's just on Katie Miller and he's like, "If you could do it all over again, would you do it?" He's like, "Nope." He even tried to make his own party. Remember, like if that doesn't tell you that the whole thing's rotten from the inside out, I don't know what is. Term limits are a must. 100%. A monkey could tell you that. Like, oh my God. Like, we have it at the executive level. Why don't we have it for career politicians? Nancy Pelosi, $500 million net worth and a couple $100,000 a year. She should be in jail for the rest of her life for insider trading. It's that simple. Until they start going to jail, nothing's going to change. Until they start limiting terms, right? No, and you shouldn't be able to... Oh, here's an idea. You shouldn't be able to own stock unless if you're in office. Like, maybe you can buy an ETF or something. Maybe you can buy SPY or that's it, right? But you and your immediate family should not be able to buy individual stocks or cryptos. That is, again, anybody with a tenth of a brain cell left would know that. Would make sense. Late for the live chat. Well, welcome. You're here. We just need to get back to the basics of fighting taxes. Yeah, exactly. Did you know that income tax was supposed to be temporary? Hope Canopy will break $5 till moon. Yeah, it's probably going to be at 2, 3 this week. Over $2, maybe even $3 as early as tomorrow. And then $5 in a hurry. Hate Canadian government. Yeah, if you just hate them all, life gets way better. Government literally means control at like the very essence. So they do not give a shit. I actually there's one of the partners of the channel that has been helping me with interviews and stuff. He's a very, very big network. He's like a PAL employee, voluntary employee. Great dude. He's also in the PAL Group private community. His name's Hector. But anyways, he just made a video about how he hates the UK government and how they'll freeze your bank account. They'll charge you with something, like with some sort of whatever charge, and then they'll freeze your bank account so that you can't hire legal representation. So he went off, like, he had this guy on his channel and it was like an hour long about why he hates the UK government. And it's like, again, imagine like China. You're not even allowed to buy Bitcoin, or like, it's crazy. And then I heard Canada was implementing like certain provinces, you could only buy this amount of crypto per year, and they're kind of changing that now. But it's just, can you imagine telling people what you can and can't put your hard-earned money into? Yeah, I can go to the casino or McDonald's and spend my life savings. It's ridiculous. No reforms to help MJ here in Canada, even it's legalized. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, companies are still, TLRY just turned net income positive. Oxley's profitable. You got Canara Biotech profitable. There's a lot of profitable companies in Canada, and that's with high excise tax. So, at the end of the day, you have to kind of play by the rules that are given and learn to win at home and learn to win at the rules that you were given. That wasn't directed at you, Rod. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I always kind of think it could be somebody else, so I don't take anything too personally unless somebody's like, Rod, you're an effing idiot. It's like, okay, bye. Banned. Thanks, Trump, and thanks, Rod. Don't go thanking the orange-haired man yet. Let's get pen to paper first and follow through on the rest of it. But like you say, love them or hate them, the theme of this administration has been promises made, promises kept, and so far there hasn't been really too much that haven't been followed through on. But again, just hate them all and life gets better. And do you think if this happens, high tide moves up stores in the United States? No, because like they could open stores there tomorrow, as far as I'm aware, right? It's just they're still expanding in Canada. They just opened their first store in Germany. Yeah, like this doesn't change anything at all fundamentally for high tide. It's just going to benefit from the melt up, right, and the price appreciation of the sector. So, but I like high tide. It's a decent company. It's just I know that the value's in the producers, right? It's like look at alcohol. Where would you rather, if you could build a time machine and go back and buy all of the alcohol companies post-prohibition? So once prohibition was over in the 1930s or 40s, whatever it was, if all these alcohol companies and retailers started popping up, which one would you put all your money into? Would it be the alcohol retailers or the alcohol producers? Pretty sure the producers are worth hundreds times more, right? Like some of them have 100 and some $billion market caps, whereas you know the retailer like Total Wines and whatever, like what would they're a tenth of that, 100th of that, right? Yeah, the money is in the producers, right? They sell it to the retailers, so the retailers need the producers. They can't operate without the producers. Plus, MJ's way more difficult. You need to get the licenses and to build a cultivation facility. Just imagine the amount of capex and capital injection that you would need just before you make a single dollar. Let's just think about this. To grow, like to make alcohol, very simple, right? Get a great big freaking mixer and manufacturing thing, and in a couple days or weeks, and there you go. It's all ready to go and bottled, and a couple weeks later, like MJ. Okay, so before you can even get your license, you have to have a massive facility. You have to get a license. Before you even get the license, you have to have a massive facility. You have to have a camera system that costs probably hundreds of thousands of dollars. Then you have to have a fence around your whole perimeter, which costs probably hundreds of thousands of dollars, depending on the size. And then you have to apply for the license. Then you get your license. Then you start the crop. Then you wait like 3 or 4 months with all this expedited, AI and everything. They're probably able to do crops pretty quick now. But, a couple of months, 3 or 4 months to get the crop going. Then you got to harvest it. Then you got to cure it. Then you got to dry it, right? Dry and cure it. Then you got to package it. Then you got to sell it to stores. And then you got to sell it to stores before you make your first dollar. Like, holy crap. Talk about a difficult barrier of entry, right? So, and like anybody can open up a high tide, like obviously the brand's there, but anybody can open a retail store, as far as I'm aware. Like it's not the barrier of entry there, the moat isn't as big, but yeah, they definitely have the number one brand in Canada in terms of retail. But yeah, high tide for me is definitely not going to be like a 50% of my portfolio or anything. It's probably around like 5 or 10% of my portfolio. What are your thoughts on Verano Holdings and Jushi? I don't own either. I own them indirectly through MSOS ETF, but I'm not a big fan of them, to be honest. I just think there's too many better options out there in terms of brands, and I just think Verano and Juicy, they're probably bio candidates, to be honest. Like I think we just don't need thousands and thousands of producers in Canada and the US, right? Like there needs to be a massive wave of M&A, and I would say they're probably like in there with the cannabis. They're probably just going to merge with another company, or yeah. Is there a publicly traded MJ Genetics company? Well, they all have their own genetics. But there's all kinds of stuff. Trying to think of a couple. There's like Ethos Genetics. That's where I used to get my seeds from, actually, calling over at Ethos. But no, like all these companies have different genetics, right? Like Redican has in my opinion, some of the best genetics. Cannara Biotech has some really good genetics, but they partnered with who's it? Cannara Biotech Genetics. They partner with somebody, Exotic Genetics. But yeah, a lot of these LPs and stuff they're all working on their own genetics. Like Oxley's got some really good ones. Redican's got some good ones. All right. Did not think I was going to be doing a 2-hour live stream, but yeah, gonna get off here and gonna go head to the gym, do the workout, and then gonna go watch the Oilers game with the family and some friends. So looking forward to it. All right, thanks everybody for joining. We're still 120 viewers strong after 2 hours, so love it. Always a pleasure coming on and hanging out with everybody, and a lot better time to be following the space, that's for sure. Does MSOS chart look bullish right now? Is it in a bull cross or something? So it just confirmed a monthly uptrend. So yeah, it's looking fantastic. Thanks, Chris. All right, thanks everybody. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good one. All right, don't stay up too late tonight. Make sure to get some Z's. It's like Christmas morning, you know. We're all 12 years old, and it's Christmas Eve, essentially. All right, have a good one. We'll talk to you soon. Oh, just saw, okay, your thoughts on Planet 13? Like I said, maybe 1 to 2% of your portfolio put towards it. Not really sold on their business model. Like I said, it's kind of cool, but probably wouldn't put any more than 1 to 2% of my MJ portfolio allocation towards it. Pizza Man Mep says, thanks, Rod, you bet. Looking forward to tomorrow as well. All right, thanks, everybody. Have a great night. We'll talk to you soon.